quite a historic move yesterday in the market. Overnight bottom in this area. Let's look at it on the daily. So, basically, we bottomed in this area here on the open. That 204 has been a level for ages. We came in and we were above 210 when we got in the pre-market, and we closed at the high. Obviously, this morning, the high put us right back inside of this consolidation range from the all-time highs. So let's see if we can spike up there right on the market open. Obviously, 218 was the lower high in the pre-market, 217.90s. So the most obvious thing would be a pop to this area or to this area. Some support around 217.20 now. That's kind of where we are. Buyers in control. We're extended. After we have a huge trend day like that, what we'd like to talk about is kind of a faux inside day, where you can take out the prior day's high and move back inside of the prior day's range. To do that, you'd have to pull back all the way. Actually, not that much.
Repurchase program.
So just have to pull back into the 217 area right here.
Or an $825 million program that's first approved in 2015.
IWM is almost $10 off the low. So we bottomed out here around 115 a few days ago. Pre-market, we are 124.40, which puts us right here. That's why I got short in the pre-market into 124.50. After we put in the top here, we just were sold 124.60, 60, 124.50, 124.50. So I figure move from 118 up to 124.50 is a lot in 2 days. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in play today. I'm not sure any of them are great trading stocks. There was a lot that are just difficult. Even some of the ones we're going to talk about here are difficult. So the first one, PRGO, this is the same sector as VRX. I actually think the former CEO of PRGO maybe is the current CEO of VRX. So just like the rest of the sector has been crushed, it's $200 stock. It's actually doing pretty well, relatively speaking, to the others. So yesterday sold off very hard from 87.50, 81. Numbers come out this morning. They're good. It was gapping up into this area. Looks like it's starting to sell a little bit already. They're on the conference call. It's done 60,000 shares. This could be a tough nut to crack, this area here. 87.5 to 88. So on the sheet, I didn't put any support until 84, which I guess is the end of the day where it bounced to and couldn't get back above. But this, it's somewhere between 84 and 85, so we'll look for a flush right on the open. Not enough volume in the pre-market really to make any judgments at this point, only 60,000 shares. But the risk reward from this area here of being short for a potential move into 84 is really good. And then you never know. This yesterday just kept on going from 84 all the way down to 81. It's a higher low. Bottomed at 80 at heavy volume. This is really heavy volume here. Next day bought at 80. Yesterday morning stopped a little bit higher. Then at the end of the day accumulated in this 84 area a little bit below. Normally moves $3.70, so this thing could really move today. Kohl's, KSS, they crushed their EPS number, so I always wonder when I see that, was there a margin situation, expanding margin, which people love, investors, traders. So stock was crushed from 80 down to the low 40s. Where it was crushed down to ended up being some recently in this initial move here. And you have 50. Was up at 49.90, 49.70. I think this is a tough spot right here to be long at. Don't have any support until all the way down in this area here. So another one gapping up that I've been looking more on the short side. If it flushes down on the open quickly, closer to 48, that would interest me, but the real support isn't all the way down here. Twitter, the CEO resigned yesterday afternoon, which is a big deal. They did then report they had 6.5 million viewers for BuzzFeed election coverage. They're starting to look more and more like people are willing to consume video content, longer form, on that platform. So it could be interesting to see how much of a revenue opportunity that is. I'm pretty sure that's why it's not really down much anymore. So this 19 area right here, we'll see if it fails there. It fails at 19, 18, if it continues to get bought. Shake, I thought the numbers were good. I was actually around when they reported. It's a beaten down name, and it's really best in class in terms of all these companies that went public, these fast casual or whatever they call them. It's a very well run company. I've been eating there for years. Well, I don't eat there much anymore, but I've eaten there many times over the years. It's good, and the numbers show they have a good business model. They own company stores, but international they license, so they have good cash flow from the licensing to help fuel the growth domestically. And that's kind of the story there. It's, for me, low 30s, long term, next 5 years, I would actually own it as an investment. As a trader, different story. All right, so it was above 40, and they crushed it down to 37. It got back up to 37 and failed. Looks like in the after hours, maybe it got to 37. So that's big right there, that 37 level. And in terms of support, in 34 to me, with the good numbers, looks pretty good. The low here is 31. I would think if people, for some reason, wanted to sell on this, I'm not sure why, it wouldn't go below this area right here. It's only done 15,000 shares, the pre-market. In the after hours, it did a decent amount of shares. Looks like it did a few 100,000. So you can see it failed there at 37. It only came into 36, so That's going to be the tail relay this morning. Does it come in and support 36 again? If it doesn't, and they start selling it, you can look for a move back into this area. I would just be a little bit careful about being long in the 37 area. I just wouldn't give it more than 20 cents. It's the times I've traded it. I've actually held it long for a couple months when it was a stronger stock, but it can be pretty wild and illiquid. It only trades 600,000 shares a day normally, so it might do 2 million today. IBM went from a neutral to a buy at Bank of America. We've talked about this in the past. When they make a big rating change from a buy down to a neutral or neutral back up to a buy, they have those millions of Merrill Lynch accounts. So it can impact the stock. Their clients add the position or take out the position. Here on earnings, 150 was big. It got above there, came back, tested it, held a few days, and buyers were in control coming into this announcement. Looks like 158.5 to me. What did I put on the sheet? I put 158. But, yeah. It broke down from here, came back up, failed. Did get through over here and held below. It's like the SPYs just failed at 217.5. So spike on the open, it's up $3 already, but a spike to the mid 158s interests me on the short side. Watch it later in the day to see if it's accumulated. The ones from yesterday, Pfizer. So they sold it in the morning, they bought it right back up, and they sold it back down to 32 again. It's above 33 now, so that's interesting. So if it's holding above 33, this is very interesting. THC, this bottomed at 14 in the pre-market. On the open, they popped it to 1580, never got to 16. It held the opening print right here, 1460.
And CRUS, it's a good chart.
And it held a little bit higher.
A lot to the upside when it gets going, so.
We want to keep an eye on this. If it's above 1580, this stock's down a lot.
Yeah.
And then X was the infrastructure play.
Okay.
Trump.
And
it's already above 25 this morning, probably with the market. I want to watch and see, does yesterday's resistance become today's support? If you get long it, I would be out below 24.80. I wouldn't give it too much room. But if this trend continues, it could move up another $1. And that's it. There's a couple of other things I'll put in the chat. There's a secondary and something. I'll put it in the chat. Patient, good luck.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.